p.m. Please note that the order to provide the documents to the Director of Public Prosecutions was compiled on Friday, 8 August. Acknowledgement of receipt was received on the said day from the DPP's Secretariat. We have said to you, the Prime Minister has said to you, we have court closed, and we put on them court closed, and we will see you in court. We'll see you in court.
You heard? They can't run this place. Last night was 100 days of celebration of yellow is the curse. 100 days. Let me put some facts down onto the table. In 100 days, 11,000 CPEP workers fired. 5,000 URP workers fired. 5,000 forestry workers fired. 400 WASA workers fired. 900 Regional Health Authority number 1 workers fired. 700 in another Regional Health Authority fired. 200 change agents in rural development, local government fired. 10 WASA managers fired. 2,800 workers inside of the temporary program in HTC fired. Ladies and gentlemen, when you add that up, that is 30,000 people in 100 days. That means 300 people a day fired. You feeling the love? They condemned me the night of the election when I said, I am guaranteeing you that there will be terrorism to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. How FARIS could say that? How he could say that? Listen, folks, it's 15 years I in public life in the front line now. Remember when Dr. Rowley said every night is FARIS, 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 FARIS? You have to ask yourself, why? Why is there an attack on me? But let me just tell certain people in the government, in the UNC, I am afraid none of all here. Not one of you all. Because I am defended by the truth, by the law, and by logic. And oh Lord God, all I need to come plenty better than you've been coming. So let's get the details. Drive around San Fernando. Drive to the waterfront development that we were doing. You saw all of the hoarding up, the contract ready for housing. You saw the fishing port and facility, the highway built, the place clean, housing village improvement going on today. Grass 12 feet tall. They thief out all the galvanized, all of the hoarding on the waterfront, all gone. The fishing port can't open yet. It is rumored that San Fernando West has an MP named Michael Dowlat. Rumored. People in Mbaka there calling me morning, noon, and night. Olera Heights, morning, noon, and night. Roy J, morning, noon, and night. Marabella, morning, noon, and night. Not a soul can find the MP. But let's get to the real issues now. In the People's National Movement, we're having a conversation every day on CPEP. Last night, a little man, a little fella, stand up and tell me, put something in my pipe and smoke it. I want to tell that little fella, stop watching pipe. I want to tell him, when you're smoking a pipe and you're telling people you're going to decriminalize marijuana and take it away, you're raising the age of alcohol to 21, and I don't mean what you all were just thinking. I am talking in all seriousness about the governance of this country. You see, I saw this little fella last night stand up and tell the people that they have launched criminal action. The government has taken criminal action in the CPEP matter. Newspapers today quoting legal proceedings against Faris Al-Rawi. I had cause to go on the radio to this legal proceedings. I have received no pre-action protocol, no threat. I've received no knock on the door from the police. I hear him talk that the big news story in this country is about a cabinet decision. And I saw this little fella last night holding up a piece of paper. And in that piece of paper, he reads out a letter from the CEO of CPEP. And the CEO of CPEP on the 11th of August wrote to the chairman of CPEP, Mr. Dane Maraj, and it is captioned, Ray, meaning concerning, request for information relative to Cabinet Minute number 1327 of July 27, 2017. Now, what's that about? The Minister of Finance at the time in 2017 is a gentleman named Colum Imbert. What do you know him? Come outside, right? Minister Imbert wrote to then Minister of Local Government and to CPEP and said, listen, in 2017, the cabinet made a decision. The minister was Frankie Khan, God rest his soul, followed by Kazim Hussein. The cabinet made a decision that said that there would be a review of the CPEP program. This little fella last night come out to say, Faris Al-Rawi must tell you that that is to fire 7,000 people. He didn't get it right, because here is a letter from the chairman of CPEP that tells you what the 2017 decision is about. So the CEO writes a letter. Here it is. Reference is made to the matter at caption. By way of Cabinet Minute number 1327 of July 27, 2017, in an unprecedented move, restrictions were imposed on the company in that cabinet agreed inter alia as follows. Count with me. 1. All CPEP contractors be immediately adjusted to a maximum of 3 gangs, unless special circumstances exist which would warrant more than 3 gangs per contractor, as deemed appropriate by the company. As an interim measure, pending review by the company of its ability to continue to perform its contractual obligations in the context of clause 16 of the contracts and the economic environment. 2. The contracts of non-compliant CPEP contractors be immediately suspended or terminated for cause as deemed appropriate. 3. The contracts of month-to-month CPEP contractors be suspended or terminated as deemed appropriate. Stop the counting. 1, 2, 3. Overall, based on the said decision, an approximate total of 7,000 workers were terminated. The 2017 cabinet decision did not provide any blanket authorization for CPEP to renew all contractors en masse. Rather, it was to restrict CPEP's workforce in light of concerns expressed by the Minister of Finance. Well, you heard the letter, right? The little man waving the letter, waving the letter, waving the letter. Faris, put that in your pipe and smoke it. Minister Imbert then wrote to the CEO, and I can tell you that Minister Imbert, now MP for Diego Martin Northeast, went out and spoke to the public and said, hey, there's only ever been 2 cabinet decisions on CPEP that he is aware of. One in 2014, one in 2017. Mr. Imbert said the CPEP contractors have been hired since 2017. Count with me. 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 9 years CPEP been hiring contractors, including multi-year, 3-year contractors with no cabinet approval except the 2017 cabinet approval. So Pararat, the little guy, runs out to say, here is this cabinet note, and I don't mean that. And they get the man one, two, and three. They have a number 4. Here what the number 4 say. New contractors be introduced in the context of the need to maintain the efficiency of CPEP and its primary aim of environmental protection and enhancement. All you hear that? That's what finance tell Eddie. Then you have a report from the Ministry of Finance. They have an audit so November 2023 audit CPEP. And I audit a big section on how you hire contractors. To the audit. A fella named Keith Eddy. December 11, 2023, he writes to Suzette Taylor Leachy, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Finance. CPEP's response to the draft report on systems audit at CPEP. Here it is, folks. In black and white, in the response given to the CPEP core increase in number of contractors, etc. The man says rationale for the increase in core contractors. Guess what he quoted? It should be noted that Cabinet Minute number 1327 dated July 27, 2017 states, he set out number 1, he set out number 2, he set out number 3, but guess what? He also set out number 4. New contractors be introduced in the context of the need to maintain the efficacy of CPEP and its primary aim of environmental protection and enhancement. Now, how on God's earth could you possibly believe that nobody would find out that the letter that the little man waving to say they have no authority wouldn't show up, that you deliberately left out the 4th power given in the cabinet note, the 4th power in black and white. But that's not it. It does not reside only in what the cabinet note means. Because as I told you, 9 years of hiring people, contractors, including 3-year contracts without cabinet authority specifically beyond the 2017. All are we just stupid? 9 years of evidence of reliance on the authority which Minister Imbert wrote about, told you about. You reply and rely on it all of a sudden, and quite curiously, you still have a work. Everybody in CPEP get fired except Keith Eddy. Everybody gone. All you think something wrong somewhere. So Eastman went to court. And when he went to court, he said, listen, I need an injunction to stop the firing, and that is under the contract. CPEP roll up and say, well, okay, they have a dispute resolution clause. You had to go to mediation and talk about it. Now, mediation is you had to voluntarily agree to mediate. If you don't agree, there are no mediation. The new Arbitration Act says You could get an injunction if you want to stop something and then go and mediate. The lawyers argued that case. Anand Ram Logan, let me repeat this. Anand Ram Logan is the lawyer for CPEP. Anand Ram Logan. I am told today on good sources, an instruction has gone out by Cal that all legal work must go to Freedom House by Anand Ram Logan. That's what I'm told. I'm going to check it out. I know that they're dealing with the Jack Warner matter. They fire all the lawyers in the matter. The leading expert in extradition gone. They hire a little junior counsel from England. I ain't seen more on that just yet. But Anand Ram Logan rolls up. And Anand Ram Logan tells them, hey, Eddie say, that Edward say, that FARIS say something. He ain't get permission. No cross-examination. They call me or other people as witnesses. And the judge, in considering the matter, say, hey, there's some allegations here. I'm going to send the file to the DPP. I have no problems with that. Number one, the DPP has no powers to investigate anything. He could get a file and send it by the police. And I welcome that. No problems. Two, by the time you get to the police, you have to explain yourself. Why you leave out the 2017 cabinet note? Why you count and you get them count 1, 2, and 3 and you forget 4? Why you left out all of the history of your hirings? Why you didn't pay the people? Because you see, ladies and gentlemen, the real fight in here is 11,000 people have no money and they want to distract you by calling my name. But as I tell you, I good with that because the law will speak and the facts will speak. But 11,000 people have no money to send their children to school. 11,000 people means San Fernando is looking the way it is as the rest of Trinidad and Tobago is looking the way it is. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to quickly come to an end by asking you this. Since when Barry Padarat don't understand, that little fella, since when Prime Minister Padarat, the main activist, main actor, spokesman, designate, the man himself, he holds the distinction of firing the most number of people in Trinidad and Tobago in one shot. All listen to me, I ain't joking. Who else all you know fire 11,000 people in one shot? Who? Right. I want to tell Mr. Padarat, don't confuse me with the things you've been through. I read here, Barry Padarat from the newspapers must know what a criminal investigation looks like. Let me refresh your memory as I come to a close. Article by Denise Wren, published May 30th, 2020. Query over $3 million account. Cops probe $3 million bank account of woman close to Princestown MP. A housewife, close relative, I'm quoting little snippets. A matter reported to the Financial Intelligence Unit by banking institution, sent to the Financial Investigation Branch of the police, criminal investigation. Ask Padarat about that. Ask Padarat about the article by Radica De Silva. On July 27, 2020, cops yet to contact Padarat on $3 million account probe. Ask about Renuka Singh's article, 2nd of June 2020. Padarat puts $3 million deposit probe in lawyer's hands. Ask Padarat about the $60,000 he had to repay the parliament for hiring his relatives. Ask him about that. You see, as Hans said to us, when your ears itching to hear what people want to say, you may be deceived into accepting untruth and ungodly words and conduct to our collective detriment. But justice comes, ladies and gentlemen, and facts stand as vindication and truth. And I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that all over the records of the Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of Rural Development and Local Government, and in the lawyers' hands, the facts stand.